Hi, I'm Tom at Just One Pack, and this is AC on the Short Alpha Clash podcast, where I talk all things Alpha Clash on my way to work. Now, the recent episodes have been a bit long, so I'm going to try to scale them back so they will be shorter, more to the point, and, to make them a short Alpha Clash podcast. So, in that spirit, I want to talk to you about the 2-year curse today. So the 2-year curse is sort of it's a concept for TCGs that most of them fall victim to this 2-year curse, meaning that they will die out after 2 years. That how many sets that is a little bit different, and the reasons for why they do this is of course a bit different. I really want to give you my perspective of whether or not I think Alpha Clash is doomed to fall for the 2-year curse. Now, why this is relevant is because with 2 sets a year, 2 real sets, not counting the draft boxes, with 2 sets a year and we are on the 4th set, that means that we are either on the way up or on the way down. And while we don't know the specific numbers of sale, at least I don't, I can't find it anywhere, there is an interesting bit to try to gauge where we're at from all the other things. So here's my take on this, and I'm going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it until the end, whether I think we're in a good spot or a really bad spot. But here's the gauges I've been looking at is that just this year we've sort of seen a crowdfunding campaign to expand the universe through the board game that did not go as planned. It grew too slowly, and eventually they sort of cut it off and said we're going to try again later. In a recent post, I think they talked about this fact that they were not happy with the results on GameFound. It didn't work out the way they wanted, and they cancelled it. But that it will come again. Now, having Kickstarter campaigns fail, while they have not Kickstarter, GameFound crowdfunding fail is an indicator that there might not be as much interest for the universe as first anticipated. So that for me is sort of a heads up. Not all is well, and that is really the first fail, at least I'm aware of, that the team at Rising Empire Studios have had. Now, I'm not going to go into why that is, because I know way too little about it, but we know that it failed. On the other side of that is how the TCG is going and all the other stuff. Now we're halfway through the sort of plan that was released sometime last year. How the plan for 2024 and 2025 would go, and we're more or less on point with that plan. So the thing is, and we can measure it a bit into 2025 because they just spoiled last week when the next set 5 is planned to come out in I think the 8th March next year. Originally that would have been February. So it's proposed only a month from a 2-year plan, which is pretty damn on point if you ask me. So already having set up the next print set for the TCG is to me a positive thing for the growth and the well-being of the game. So thumbs up for that. That's a sign that things are going well. But on the same 2-year plan, we should have had a draft box in December this year, the draft box 2. I haven't seen anything about it, so they might skip it or simply, I don't think they've forgotten about it. That would be very unlike them. But not having said anything new about it, and having released the fact that the next base set is out there, could be an indicator that things, at least in that department, in the Seal game, is not going as well as they were hoping, or that Seal format is not going as they was hoping. That might have a million different reasons, but it does worry me that I at least have not found news articles or any sort of addressing of that anywhere. So that, to me, is a warning sign. The product is not coming up the way they were planning, meaning the plan might have been disrupted. On the other side, several things have come up from the team. We are going to have the first ClashCon, or the Pro Tour, right on the mark from the 2-year plan, but also they are confident enough for them to hold a con, not just a Pro Tour, but a complete con around it, which to me is an indicator that they at least are, from the Rising Empire Studio, has still a belief in this and the long-term commitment to this. The fact that con will come with loads and loads and loads of stuff, it seems, I know it's just around the corner, and I'm looking forward to going, but using the time and effort to arrange that with all the side events, with all the opportunities there, with sponsors and Pro Tour and all of it, is to me a sign of at least the company. One, the company believes in this; they're not about to give up, and that there's a community that is large enough to support a con. So I hope to see a lot of the people there. I'm really looking forward to it. That, for me, the fact that there will be a con is alongside the Pro Tour, right on schedule, is a positive for me. I think that's a healthy sign. So, a final point before this one is running long again, and I promised I make them shorter, is that it seems like events have moved. First of all, events seems to grow bigger. Physical events seem to grow bigger. That is completely anecdotal. I have no data to support this. Just from about a year ago, I was looking for whether or not anyone was planning in a physical event anywhere near me. They were not, but that was not the point. Back then, a year and a half ago, almost every event was a digital event on Tabletop Simulator. And while they are good, probably, the big difference between a Tabletop Simulator and you pulling out the game and a local cafe or community centre or even your local game store is that no one can see you play when you're doing it at home on your computer. So the fact that when I look this time around, just to have a sort of a gauge, because there's been a lot of chat about Clash Grounds going on, which is great, and which contenders are up and down. Might do a podcast about that later, but it got me thinking whether most events were physical now, and it does seem like they are. physical now. It doesn't mean that there is not tabletop simulator events. There still is, but most events seems to be physical now, which to me is a really good sign of this is growing and getting more interesting. Now, all of that combined, the fifth set coming out, events being physical, the continued support from the and innovation from Rising Empire Studios makes me think that this is not going away anywhere soon. Will Alpha Clash be as big as Magic or Pokemon? Probably not. No, but there is a lot of games that have lived for a long time, smaller than those two. Put Yu-Gi-Oh in there. There's a lot of games that's been living for a lot longer, being much smaller, and I think the approach done so far by Rising Empire Studio has been a really good one, constantly coming out with new stuff and new angles, and I'm really curious about if they will continue to be brave to expand on the portfolio. Sure, there's a TCG. About the TCG, they asked for more playtesters. I would love to join, but I simply haven't got the time. But they asked for more playtesters. You're probably not going to do that if you're scaling back, cutting costs. So, again, a sign of some sort of health in the community and in the game. So, I think it's going to live for hopefully many years to go. I hope you'll join that and enjoy the game. Anyway, that's all for me. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.